Let me give you a new definition of constipation, because if you take the medical definition, it means you have less than 2 or 3 bowel movements in a week. All right, just think about that for a second. Less than 2 or 3 bowel movements in a week. Now, if you're eating 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that's 21 meals, and you're only having 3, 1 every other day. So let's say 3 or 4 bowel movements every week. Guess what? Where's the other 17 or 18 meals? Where's the other 17 or 18 meals? They're sitting in your body, rotting and fermenting. Okay, so this is why when you're constipated, this is a real issue. It's a real issue when you're constipated, because now this waste is not only sitting there rotting and fermenting, but it's also creating its own toxins. It's also feeding, yeast and bad bacteria that actually overgrows and overtakes your good bacteria, which is responsible for making 70% of your immunity. Okay? So hugely important. One of the elimination channels that is definitely blocked when it comes to getting rid of waste, even through your gut, related to your liver, which is another elimination channel because it actually processes toxins. You will process excess estrogens through your liver that are then put into your digestive system for you to poo out. So if your liver is processing these excess estrogens and toxins and then sending it to your bowels to be pooed out, and you're constipated, that's going to lead to more toxins in the body. Okay, so you got to open up the skin. Okay, the skin is also an elimination channel. All right, it is the largest elimination channel, and our skin is our largest organ. All right, so when your skin is also stagnant, blocked, and you can see it when you have acne, when you have psoriasis, when you have rashes, when you have hives, when you start to have skin issues, things that are trying to come out, the same things that are coming out, the mucus, whatever it may be, sometimes it's hormones that are coming out. So sometimes you'll have hormonal acne as well too. But when toxins are coming out and you can actually see them, that means that the skin is stagnant, is blocked. That's a lot of toxins trying to come out. So you got to open up these elimination channels. So that's what we're going to talk about next. How do we get rid of waste so we can lose healthy weight? Because we don't want to lose muscle, but we do want to lose waste, most importantly, fat, okay, in the process, and that excess water that we don't need that is accumulating, making us puffy. Those are the 3 things we want to get rid of. Not all of our water, but the excess water that we don't need. That toxic water, okay, that is sitting in our bodies, trying to lower the concentration of toxins in our bodies, okay? So number 1 way to get rid of waste, okay, you got to stop putting the toxins in. Adopting a whole foods, plant-based diet, free of pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides. The first sort of thing is to do no harm. That's the first law of preservation, is to do no harm, okay? So you got to stop the harm first. You got to stop adding toxins to the body. You got to stop adding things to the body that clog the body instead of cleanse the body. Okay? That's the first and most important thing. And the reason why is this. Because if you're trying to remove toxicity while you're simultaneously putting it in the body, you're just neutralizing the effects. Okay? You're just neutralizing the effects while you're putting toxins in, while you're trying to get them out. Okay, so a whole foods, plant-based diet is the foundation. And here's why that's so important. When you're eating natural foods contain not only all of the nutrients that you need, vitamins, minerals, trace elements, amino acids, etc., but they also contain fiber, which you won't get in any other food category. Fiber is only present in plants, and fiber is like a broom inside of the bowels. So a lot of people are constipated because they don't have enough fiber in their diet, and you can only get fiber from the food that you eat. All right, that is plants. All right, you can't get it from eggs, you can't get it from you can't get it from dairy, you can't get it from meat. Okay, so you got to have fiber in your diet. That's the way to a healthy gut. And it also, that fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which is responsible for making 70 to 80% of your immunity. So it's a huge part of your immune system too. All right. Now, here's the cool thing about adopting a whole foods plant-based diet. All right. And making that the foundation of what you eat. You can eat as much as that you want. And if that is all you ate, whole foods, let me explain what whole foods are. Whole foods come from nature. All right. So if it's not from the ground, put it down. They're one ingredient: kale, soursop, chickpeas, quinoa, one ingredient. All right. That's what a whole food is. Not in a box with a whole bunch of ingredients. All right. So one ingredient, come from nature, no processing. Okay. No processing of any kind, no food chemicals. And most importantly, properly prepared, minimally prepared. What I mean by that is none of all this frying, deep frying, microwaving. That kills your food. Once you fry okra, you have taken a perfectly good food and turned it into a toxin. Okay? So minimally preparing your food is also important. And if you do that, you can eat till the sun comes down and you will not gain weight. And here's why. Because you will not be able to eat a lot because it's too much fiber. And there's triggers in the stomach and in the bowels that say, when I get enough fiber and get enough nutrients and enough water, it will tell you to stop eating. Just the same way, if you were trying to drink 1 gallon of water in a span of like 2 to 3 minutes, your body just couldn't take it anymore. It's the same thing with eating whole foods. That's what tells you that it's natural for us to eat this type of food because there's a stop trigger with it. Whereas if you go to your favorite fast food drive-through, you can get 2 number 2s and 2 number 3s and have a milkshake and just continue to eat it because it has no fiber in it and no nutrients to trigger that stop point. Okay, so number 1, whole foods plant-based diet. Okay, to lose the waste and not just lose weight. Okay, so we want to lose weight, and the benefit of this is a huge benefit, is you're going to lose weight equally. You're not going to have saggy skin here and there. You're going to lose weight in your face, your neck, all over your body equally. Okay, because you've probably seen people who lost weight, but then there's parts of the body that are like looking like it's sagging or drooping. Okay, and that's a big indication that they did not lose weight healthy. All right. Number 2, you got to get rid of the parasites and the yeast because they are controlling your taste buds. That's what's keeping you addicted to the food that is toxic. The parasites love sugar. They love salt. They love grease. And that is the chemical soup for the food products and fast foods and processed foods that we have today. They put salt, sugar, and fat in every processed food because they know that we get addicted to it that way. That's why they say you can't just have one. So you got to get rid of the parasites and the yeast. And I'll talk about how you do that in a second. All right. Because the parasites and yeast literally have hijacked your taste buds. They wake up at night and tell you what to eat. All right. Number 3, you got to eliminate the toxins. All right. Going back to what I talked about before, you got to first do no harm. You got to stop the toxins you're getting from food. You got to stop the toxins you're getting from the environment. Okay, maybe you live in an environment where there's a lot of toxins. If you live near a cement plant, when they burn that coal in a cement plant, it shoots off heavy metals in the air that you breathe in. We've seen this with children who have schools nearby. Okay, also with beverages. Okay, the things that you drink, alcoholic beverages. Okay, a lot of beverages with a whole lot of sugar, household products, cosmetic and hygiene products, makeup. On average, women who wear makeup daily or at least 5 times a week, they will put somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 5 pounds of toxins in their body annually. Okay, so you got to eliminate the toxins. Go natural with all your products and especially your food. Okay, number 4, fasting. Okay, fasting. Start fasting. That fasting could be intermittent fasting where you have a window throughout the day, maybe 12 hours, maybe 14 hours, where there's a period where you're not eating for 14 hours. That can include the 8 hours of sleep, and then you can extend that by adding an additional 6 hours. And now you've been fasting for, 14 hours. Okay, so intermittent fasting helps. Liquids fasting helps. So when you're doing juices, you're doing coconut water, herbal teas, okay, water, etc. Well, we just did a 72-hour water fast with my membership program, Tribe Healing Community. It was amazing hearing people's sort of feedback, thinking to themselves like, I can't believe that I'm on day 3 and I haven't had a meal in 3 days and I still have energy. Okay, so fasting will help as well too. Lastly, detoxing. As you guys know, I always go back to this. I always tell people, herbs were made for the healing of our bodies. If you read, you don't have to be religious, but if you read Revelations 22:2, it talks about that. It says, and that's the last book of the Bible, and you don't have to be, again, you don't have to be religious, but you got to know that this is an old book. And they said this 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, that leaves were made for the healing of a nation. All right. Leaves were made, and the leaves are the herbs. So the herbs are made to correct the behavior. They're correcting, because when you're sick, when you got dis-ease, it's toxicity and deficiency. It's toxicity and deficiency, no matter if that's eating too many carbs, or whether that's eating too many processed foods, or whether that's eating too much meat, or having too much stress in the body. All of those things are toxins. Even when you're stressed, you're producing toxic hormones like, or chemicals like cortisol. Okay. That's a very acidic hormone. Okay. Adrenaline. These are very acidic to the body. So it's a toxin to the body. So if you want to heal, you got to remove the toxins. So removing the toxins with stress would be creating peace in the body, in your life. Okay. But when the toxins, the heavy metals, the mucus, the acidity, the food waste has accumulated in the body, you can't meditate your way out of that. Enter herbs. Okay.